Hello everyone, I have some pretty exciting news. Alpha version 8 just got released. So what does this mean? Well, Alpha version 8 was a huge optimization patch, and a lot of people are seeing anywhere from a 50 to 100% increase in their frames. There are also a few really cool things that they added in this patch. Number one being the rocket techie. So, as we see here that version 8 is now released and that we're seeing a huge optimization on all the core systems, so you expect to see a good amount of frame increase from what you were previously getting. And we'll go over the entire patch notes here. So, as you can see here, new vehicle variants and assets. So we're seeing the rocket techie. This is huge. It's the first indirect fire support asset that Squad has. So it'll be really interesting to see how these will alter gameplay. We also see a Crow's Humvee. So this Crow's Humvee basically is a remote-controlled 50 cal, and that will keep the gunner safe within the Humvee. And remember that Humvees cannot be damaged by any small arms. So it'll be interesting to see how the Crow's Humvee will alter the battlefield as well. You can see we get the tan variant and the woodland variant, so very cool. And then Russia also gets the Cord heavy machine gun, I think. Yes? Or the NSV. I don't know. The NSV. So we'll see how this will affect gameplay. The only difference from the M2A1 is that it has a higher rate of fire. I think the M2A1 has 500 runs per minute, and this one has 700. So we'll see if these will, have a major difference as opposed to the other current 50 cals. Then we also see that our Techies have front-facing shields so that it's no longer as easy to knock the gunner off. So we'll see if we see extended survivability of Techie gunners. This was very much needed because it was really easy to take out technical gunners. They added the first iteration of penetration through wood, thin sheet metal, fences, things like that. And that's on the 50 cals as well as on the BTR and other heavy machine guns. So it'll be really cool because now these kind of assets have another use rather than just standard, another weapon. It now has another little dynamic add to it, which is the ability to penetrate through walls and things. So we'll see if this becomes extremely useful and utilized by a lot of clans and teams. Low stamina sway, so they're going to punish you for having low stamina. I think this is a great addition. It'll make players think more about where they want to move, have them slow down a little bit, and then, push out. Knowing the consequences of running with low stamina will definitely slow down the gameplay, which is definitely what I'm looking for. Beautiful, beautiful map reworks. This is Logar Valley. It looks so much different with this lighting. And then I think there's a little bit of mist as well. So very beautiful map. Sumari also got a huge lighting overhaul. There's a lot more sandstorm kind of dust within the city. So it's really hard to see past, 100 meters. As you can see the before picture here, it's really clear. You can see almost everything. But now with this current sandstorm kind of dust, mist rolling, you have limited visibility. And it looks like Yeho also got a small update, but not as big as the other two. They updated the server browser, so it looks like... What do they do? So their stream as they come in. They also improved sorting. Very good. Always needed improved sorting. Graphics. Anything big here? I don't think anything too big here. Clear out. Oh, so this is useful. They added a button to clear out your cached user settings. Sometimes I had to go into my app data and delete my settings just to make sure that all my settings were reset properly. But now they added a button in there to make sure that we can just wipe it if. And then the actual changelog. Let's get into this. So from these timers, it looks like overall they're increasing the timer of your death. So you have to spend. There's more punishment for when you die, and I think that's great because right now it's a little too run and gun. But with the increased penalty of having to wait an additional 15 seconds, pretty much everywhere. Except for the third, yeah, pretty much 50 everywhere except for the suicides. I think it'll hopefully slow down gameplay a lot more, and you'll get more of a tactical, slow-paced feel to it. Whereas the version 7 and previous versions, it was a lot of run and gun. Bob and logistics. Let's see what they did here. Increase the amount of time. So once again, slowing down the game. It used to be 5 minutes without supplies to get respawns. Now it's 7 minutes on a fob, so you have to wait 7 without a logi. They decreased the ammo point generation, so now you're relying on Logis more to supply ammo as well as building supplies, so that's a good change. And now you also get scores for when you're driving Logi, so you get an actual tangible score for the effort that you put in, and so it kind of gives Logi drivers some recognition for their efforts. They decreased, so it used to cost 100 ammo points to reload a HMG at a fob. Now it costs 50, so they kind of buffed that. I mean, it's in line with this 0.5 ammo point generation, so it's essentially the same thing at this point. Reloading a vehicle now costs ammo points. I'm not sure if it did in V7. I don't think it did. So now it costs 75 ammo points. So they're giving fobs more logistical use, which I really enjoy. And they're making, they're fleshing out the system. Yeah, same thing with the BTR. And the reason why the Crows cost 175 is because those magazines carry about 2,000 rounds. So there's a reason why this is 175 up from the 50 or 75 that the other HMGs cost. And you can reload the improvised rocket techie at a fob, but it costs 300 ammo points. So I'm really excited to see this happen. Like I'm curious to see what kind of strategies teams can pull out with using a rocket techie and a fob combined to just rain indirect fire on a target. Weapons. HMGs now do more damage. That was very much needed. Must work. Heavy machine guns now have a work in progress focus ability, so that's very neat as well. A lot of the complaints about using the HMG previous in V7 and earlier was that you couldn't see anything. It was hard to spot far distance targets because you couldn't zoom. So now they have a kind of mismatched, kind of scrapped together zoom in, which is very much needed. They kind of touched up on how weapons deal damage at range. And they nerfed the M249 200 round box to a 100 round box. But they increased the amount of boxes they carry. If I'm reading this right, they increased the amount of boxes they carry, so they have an additional 100 rounds, and they also decreased the weapon sway. So overall, M249 got a buff. So hopefully we start seeing more automatic riflemen, because before it was just essentially another rifle. With no extra utility. But the militia still have the 200 round boxes. So interesting that we're seeing a little more diversity between factions. Just something small, but any change is nice. I like the asymmetrical gameplay that squad has. Let's see, miscellaneous changes. It's harder now to get points for to reveal caches. You need to kill more insurgents to get more intel to find caches now, so it should take longer for that, you know, kind of clue to give up on your map for finding the cache. So that's good, because I felt before it was really too easy to find the caches, and so Blue 4 would always stomp INS on insurgent match. So you can't bury it anymore. Okay, so this has been around for a while. You used to be able to, back when insurgents had tires, you used to be able to bury the cache with tires, and that got really annoying. So now it looks like they added an exclusion zone where you can't build anything around the cache. So that'll stop teams from, you know, just burying it in deployables. Replaced 50% of the Humvees with Crows, so from the regular turret, so that's good. And same thing, but with the technicals and the turret shield. Good. You actually get scores for when you kill something as a gunner. Before you didn't. They reduced the ticket loss from 16 to 12 on Humvee. Zoom is now in queue. That's something small. Fixed Hesco walls. This pissed me off. Before, when you want to make a double stacked Hesco wall, the double stack would end up on the other side. So you have to go outside of the fob and face the in to drop the Hesco wall in order to prevent, you know, the attackers from jumping up on the wall. It was really annoying, and I'm glad they fixed that small change. They got rid of a couple useless vehicles. That's good. And then they add. It'll be interesting to see if this actually I can feel this in game is how the vehicles behave on the surface. So maybe they get slower off road or something like that. But it'll be interesting to see if I notice this. And then these are just all the optimization changes. If you really want to read through all of this and see what exactly they did to give you your frames, you can read through all this. But that's not anything that really interests me. And then just a couple bug fixes and major issues. For example, the where was it? Saw it. The weapons on the vehicles continuing to fire after vehicle destroyed. That was really annoying. But yeah, just some basic changes, the optimizations. Overall, a huge patch. Very, very solid patch. Just aside from V7, this is pretty much one of the biggest patches that Squad has dumped. And I'm really excited to see how that Rocket Techie is gonna impact the game. Really excited to hit things with it and to get hit by it. But that's pretty much it for V8, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in game.